everybody, my name is MetalMusicMan.
I'm Professor Lex.
And this is episode
81.
It's 81.
Episode 81.
But mostly it is an episode.
Oh, yeah, surprise.
It's
we got you what you wanted.
10 million years.
I don't look at the date. You're looking up the date. Fuck, Will.
26th.
I
Damn,
thought you were
we
going to
suck.
say like 21.
No, 26th.
Yeah.
But I have enjoyed the hiatus.
Yes, it
I've
was
been
a brief
living my life
hiatus,
for these last 2.5.
just as
short-
Rihanna
just
and
around
T.I.
2.
wished you would.
Yeah, I have my headphones on. I was just trying to think, why can't I hear Alex? He's in person with me.
I am right here. I'm physically here.
I was doing audio tests and I had my headphones on and I was like, man, Alex
He got quieter.
Why is he so much quieter than I remember being? Anyway, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for tuning back in.
We're sorry we died for a while.
It's it had to be. We had to die so that we could rise again. This is what you.
Well,
wanted.
and by rise again, we mean like
I'm gonna come back to your house and I'm gonna shove a microphone in your face and I'm gonna be like, "Whoa, it's 3 o'clock podcast."
I definitely thought you were gonna say but the point I was trying to make is that we're like we're the stepdad. We're not back. We can't. Have you seen the movie Backdraft?
I thought you were gonna say we're back, but
no.
I haven't seen Backdraft.
Roll back the rock to the dawn of time.
Sing this song with
hell
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Goodman fucking kills it.
Doesn't he just? How about that spooky guy with the screw for an eye?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, isn't that fucked
that's a whole
up?
thing.
We watched that when I was
awesome.
like 4.
That movie's awesome.
Yeah.
That movie's awesome. So Backdraft is a movie with Kurt Russell about being a firefighter, where Stephen Baldwin is his brother, and
which one's Steven?
The one that looks like Alec but isn't.
Okay.
So that's the only way you need to describe.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's
so
not Adam.
There are, I don't know how many Baldwins there are. There's Alec Baldwin, who is
5.
awesome, except for when he killed that lady or whatever.
He shouldn't have accidentally.
I didn't look into it because
manslaughtered that woman.
I didn't look into it because there was just so much shit. I don't know at the end of the day whether it's like, oh, poor Alec Baldwin, unfortunate prop thing, or like, Alec Baldwin, you did a bad.
Murdered.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't want to know. Don't tell me. If you tell me, I'll fight you. Don't you give me.
You want Schrodinger's murder?
I want Schrodinger's Baldwin. Yes.
Okay.
I
can accommodate this.
I don't want to know.
I won't tell you.
I just want to live my life and watch reruns of 30 Rock and also watch Glengarry Glen Ross and feel fine. That's all I want. So anyway, are
you leaving out The Shadow?
I forgot about The Shadow.
I would never forget about The Shadow.
It in so long. I thought that movie was so cool when I was like 7 years old. Holy shit.
It's so good that someone was able to uncloud your mind so that you could remember The Shadow.
Yeah.
Shadow
Who
jokes.
knows? The nose knows. Because I got a nose because I'm the Shadow. Harper, stop eating Alex's chair. Hey, hit her in the face with your fucking penis. Hey, no, just don't. No, she's not going to respond to that. Pick that pillow up. See that pillow? My cat's eating the chair. Yeah, and just put it. Yeah. See, she already knows. She's...
So now she's going to lurk behind.
Yeah, she's going to lurk behind you.
I'm sort of
when you
leaning
least
forward,
expect it, she's going to bite your ears.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. I have the best
That's
cat.
Fine.
Anyway, so Stephen Baldwin or whatever Baldwin that isn't
Adam or Alec.
Adam is the one who's crazy. Who was on a bunch of weird reality
Trumpist.
TV things. Yeah, he did like
remember he was
flat earther religious
Cobb?
shit.
He was Jane Cobb in Firefly, and he wasn't acting. It was just him, and he said he had a different name.
Okay, you're doing a bit. It took me a second. That is a totally different guy who's not related to Alec Baldwin. Adam
Baldwin isn't related to Alec Baldwin?
Okay, no, you're... Sorry, did I say Adam? What is his name? Fuck, not Adam. I can't... Yeah, okay. Adam Baldwin is not related to Alec Baldwin.
Really?
He's not a Baldwin brother.
I had no idea.
No, I'm not talking about that guy.
Okay.
I thought... I must have said Adam Baldwin, but I forgot.
Now.
Who's the young one who's crazy? There's a young Baldwin who's crazy. Okay, anyway. There's crazy religious, flat earther, insane young Baldwin.
Who isn't Adam?
Maybe that's... Oh, no. That's Stephen. That's Stephen Baldwin. Stephen Baldwin is the crazy one. I thought Stephen Baldwin was in Backdraft, but that's Billy Baldwin.
Adam Baldwin is definitely the crazy one. But
Adam Baldwin is crazy, but he's not a Baldwin.
It's like Ogre and True Ogre from Tekken.
Yeah. Yes. And moving on. So yeah. He is, that guy is stupid, but anyway, so Stephen Baldwin is the young one who's crazy. Billy Baldwin is not Alec Baldwin, but I don't know anything else about him other than that. Literally all I know about him is that he's in Backdraft. That's the only thing I know about him. And Alec Baldwin is Alec Baldwin. This has been a Baldwin off. Anyway, the point is there's a scene in Backdraft that I forgot what the context for the conversation was. ... Moving on. What the fuck was I talking about?
How did we get here?
Why was I talking about Backdraft? I don't even remember.
Stepdads. You were talking about stepdads.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. There you go. Waiting it in.
Yeah.
So, we are Kurt Russell from Backdraft, which is a movie about fire where the fire makes the sound of animals because it's amazing.
That's normal.
Donald Glover.
Duck? Oh.
Not Donald Duck. Donald Glover is in it. Not Donald Glover. What am I doing? Danny Sutherland.
Glover.
Donald Glover was probably 1 year old when that movie released. Donald Sutherland is in Backdraft, and he plays a pyromaniac, and he's only in literally
the bad guy?
He is a bad guy. He's only in like 9 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
Robert De Niro is also in it.
Is he also bad?
No, he's Goodman. Anyway, Donald Sutherland is terrifying and haunting. He is a pyromaniac who is like literally in love with fire, and he's in the movie for 9 minutes, and he steals the entire thing. Anyway, if you like 90s movies that are very good, but also have so many 90s tropes that they're actually terrible, Backdraft is like one of the best movies of all time.
Love those.
Yeah, it's great. Like, I mean, you have to it is a 90s action-y blockbuster movie. It has terrible tropes. It's ridiculous and awful in so many ways that it's terrible. But if you make those allowances,
Danny Glover is wonderful in it.
Yeah, Don Glover is great in it. Anyway, you haven't seen that bit on Conan?
On what? Dong Lover? Is that what you're trying to say? No, I know that one.
Oh, okay. So, anyway, point being, Kurt Russell fights a fire, is a fireman, and he is divorced from his wife because he's crazy. He's drunk.
Loose cannon cop.
He's drunk, crazy fireman. He fights the fire, and his name's Bull. And he charges into the fire, and he does a fire thing, and then but Bull, like, he really, boy howdy, he loves his wife. But he's just so drunk and on fire all the time that it's bad.
Yeah, it is bad. Generally speaking, if you're a fireman,
it's bad for the children. Fire. So one day,
it's good for the fire.
Yeah. The fire wants the attention. Yeah. So, which is basically an actual quote from the movie. They treat the fire like it has like a personality and it's an animal.
Makes animal noises.
It's really fun. Yeah. Like when the fire goes up, they have like lion. It goes like.
Do you know who provided the voice of the lion? Was it was it Andy Serkis?
No. This is before Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis was
also
12 years
one.
Old.
Okay,
he was 12 years old. He's much older than Don Glover. So anyway, Kurt Russell, he like for some reason something bad happens, and you should watch Backdraft. I'm about to spoil things.
Oh shit!
Something happens.
This is the time to get off the podcast.
Yeah. Get out of here. Backdraft from 1991.
Backdraft
Go watch
spoilers.
it. So he like Kurt Russell he's like I'm sad because something, I forget why. Somebody gets burned by fire, probably.
That makes sense. That's a risk.
He's like, I'm sad. I'm going to go work on the roof of my house because my house roof needs re-roofing, but I live in a boat because I'm separated from my wife because I'm on fire and drunk all the time. So I'm going to go to my house. And then he goes to his house and his wife's like, Steven, which is his name.
Which is his name in the movie.
But also Bull.
Stephen Baldwin.
But also Bull. But he's not Stephen Baldwin. Billy Baldwin. So Kurt Russell's like, I'm going to work on the roof of my house because my house's roof needs fixing because someone got lit on fire and I can't fix that. No, so I'm going to fix my roof because I'm a mow. So,
I sure hope that people have the context of that bit.
A meow.
Yes. Okay.
It's
you guys
self-evident.
Pick it up.
It's self-evident.
You're smart viewers. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to condescend.
Kurt Russell bees a meow, and he goes onto the roof and he fixes his roof, and his wife comes out and she's like, Steven, you can't just fix the roof. This is not your roof. And he's like, this is my roof. I still technically own this house. I just live on a boat because I'm drunk and on fire. And she's like, oh, Steven, take me now. So then he like fucks her in the butt and they make a butt baby. And then later in the morning, she like poops out the butt baby like 8 months later.
I didn't know that's how that worked.
Yeah, it's a month less gestation. Very scientific.
Thank you for the failings of the public health,
you went to public school. They didn't teach you. So anyway, the context and of everything I'm leading up to here, it's very important.
It's good.
Is that in the morning after they make a butt baby, she's like wakes up and Steven's gone, and she's like, oh, that sure was some good sex I had with my good sex husband who's too much of a loose cannon to be around. And he's already gone. He's gone.
Classic.
He's like a wisp. He's gone.
Classic.
I'll just go downstairs and take a poop. And so she goes downstairs, and then she gets downstairs, and it's like the stairs lead into the kitchen because houses.
Yeah.
And,
that's how houses work.
And Bull is in the kitchen.
What?
And he's with their kid.
Wow.
And he's like, hey, man, let's make breakfast. And the kid's like, yeah, I'm going to help you make the eggs. He's like, yeah, we're making
over a fire.
We're making eggs.
Over a fire. I know where this is going.
It doesn't go there, but honestly, it really should. Should we make that skit? Like we should probably do that. So anyway, the kid's like, I'm going to put grape jelly in the eggs. And he's like, okay. And then the kid puts more eggs in and he puts the shells in and Bull's like, you can't put the shells in. He's like, no, it's good. This is how it's supposed to be. And he was like, okay, whatever, man, go off. You do you. We're making mommy breakfast. We're a family again.
We're going to make eggs
and then the mom gets there and she's like, Steven, we gotta talk.
We gotta break up.
And he's like, oh, cool. Hang on. Let me just make you breakfast with my son.
That sounds emotionally manipulative.
It's weird. It's yeah. And then she's like, no, he can't know that we just had butt sex passionately in the night lit by the moon.
A child, yeah.
He can't know that he's going to have a poop brother. He can't.
Or sister.
Yeah, or sister. Yeah. Or poop they. He can't know that. So she's like, Steven, you got to go. And he's like, oh, no. And then he's like, hey, man. He goes to his kid and he's like, I messed up. I thought I had time to make breakfast, but I gotta go fight a fire.
Damn.
And the kid's like, Daddy. Anyway, that's what this podcast episode is.
Oh, shit.
That's this episode 81 of the Middle and Legs podcast. That's what this is. So here we are.
But
we're not making breakfast.
Don't get comfortable with the idea of eggs and shells and grape jelly.
Yeah. And butt siblings.
Every once in a while, I think we do these cold opens. I don't know if you guys can tell, they're not scripted.
Yes, and
they're not scripted. And every once in a while, I think to myself, man, it's been since February 26th since we've shot an episode. Will we still be able to recapture that magic? And wouldn't you know it, just like passionate butt sex to conceive a butt child, we can still do it.
Yeah.
We can still do it.
It helps that I am a strange alien, non-human. And
yes,
you are
I roll
relatively
with the punches.
Normal. I think that's the dynamic.
That's the tagline.
Anyway, we interrupt this regularly scheduled not podcast with a podcast to talk about fighting games, which are terrible, and I hate them, and I'm breaking up with them forever.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Let's be honest with ourselves, with you, really. The Street Fighter 6 is going to come out, and you're gonna play it, and you're gonna say, things are different. Things are finally different. I've got a game that loves me, and I love it. And you'll play it, and you'll love it, and you two will have great sessions for 6 months. And then, who knows? But for 6 months, that honeymoon period, it's going to be great. You're going to come out of your shell. You're going to be high-fiving people on your way to work.
You've already skipped an entire link in this chain.
Which part?
You actually think I'm going to definitively go straight to the honeymoon phase? Because I don't know that I am.
No, right now you're...
I definitely did do that with Street Fighter V.
Yeah. Well, but to be fair and balanced, at the time, Street Fighter V didn't do anything to hurt you.
Well, that's exactly my point. So this is a different scenario, Alex.
Yes, it's totally different because Street Fighter V hurt you, but you're ready to love again.
I don't think I am. I think I'm closed off from love entirely. We gotta talk about Granblue.
Okay, yeah, let's
Street Fighter 6 is a thing.
And we'll get to it. We'll get to it. It's coming up.
Yeah, we gotta go make some eggs with jelly and leave.
And shells.
So Granblue, all right. We went to Combo Breaker. And it was you and me and Pharaoh, and we did a road trip. Mm-hmm. And we roomed together, and we just farted a whole bunch at night.
After the chicken.
Yeah, we ate delivery hot chicken.
Nashville hot chicken.
Yeah. Well, no.
It claimed to be Nashville hot chicken.
It claimed to be Nashville.
Yeah.
You know how when you order a hot chicken sandwich from a hot chicken sandwich place, and they can basically do two things. They can say, this is a spicy chicken sandwich, or they can say, this is a Nashville hot chicken sandwich. Mm-hmm. And there's this thing.
That's a code.
Mostly I blame white people. I think.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah. But mostly I think white people are to blame because there's this thing where everybody wants to serve a Nashville hot chicken,
but nobody
nobody
wants to
fucking
eat.
serves
Yeah.
a Nashville hot chicken.
Yeah, because you'll burn your customers' mouths. Why would you do this to me? I gave
So my
you
point
money.
is, yeah, when you do that, you call that a spicy chicken sandwich.
Yes, you don't call it a Nashville hot chicken
If you
sandwich.
call something, that'd be like if you got like a fucking Ugandan scorpion dick piercer, and then it was a marshmallow, and you were just like, oh. Like,
That was tame.
Yeah. You would have expected it to be something a lot different.
More
So
flavorful.
When you get a Nashville hot chicken, it should borderline kill you.
It should be hot. You should say, ow.
Yeah, but the ow is like a good ow. But
Yeah.
it's definitely painful.
You paid money to say
Pain is
ow.
part of, yeah. So anyway, we got Nashville hot chicken sandwiches that were not
They
Nashville
were
hot
spicy.
chicken sandwiches.
The
They were
fry-
spicy chicken sandwiches.
The fry on that was very good.
It really
They were
wasn't even a
crisp.
bad chicken
Yeah, it was a
sandwich.
good spicy
It was
chicken sandwich.
but it was just a spicy chicken sandwich.
It wasn't. Anyway, we
Yeah.
had those. And
We had those, and then we all farted all night.
And
that was our rooming
the
experience.
next morning, I was like dying. That is when my IBS or whatever it is kicked in.
Yeah. Bowels. Yeah.
And we got back on the road, and we were driving, and Farrah was like, "Hey, can we stop to go pee?" And I was like, "This is it for me. I'm gonna pee, and I'm gonna shit myself in Phillips 66 or whatever the
Get your shits on, Phillips 66.
But then we went into that godforsaken gas station.
Oh, those bathrooms were terrible.
They were.
Did you not shit because they were so bad?
I didn't. I went in.
Oh no, I shit straight into that toilet, motherfucker. I didn't give a fuck.
Hold on. So I walked in, and there was like pubic hair and urine and vomit and Coca-Cola
Hot.
all over the seat. And I looked down, and my stomach was like, "Nah, man, fuck that. I'm sorry. I was
Wait,
being
so
hasty."
you just held all the poops for the rest of the ride?
My stomach decided I no longer needed
Oh, you
to
just
shit.
didn't feel it anymore.
Yeah, I needed to shit up until the moment I saw that stall,
And it-
and then I was like, "Oh, thank
and it just
God, I
backed
can
out.
leave." Yeah,
I can just go.
And then I was fine.
Wild.
Yeah, and then like Pharaoh and I fucked off, and you said you wanted like Sour Patch straws or something.
Bruh, okay, now wait a minute.
They didn't have them.
They didn't have them at a sick. We stopped at so many gas stations. We
Yes.
did a 4.5 hour road trip from fucking St. Louis to Chicago, Illinois, basically, more or less. Not a single gas station
Sour Patch
had
straw.
Not Sour Patch straws.
Sorry,
sour. They're just are they called sour straws?
Strawberry
Sour straws. Yeah,
I
they're
don't
sour.
know. I don't like the sour gummy.
It's like a long length of.
I've
It
seen
looks
them.
like licorice, but it's not because licorice is
Right.
fucking gross.
It's licorice
and it's
flavored,
covered
yeah.
in like sour sugar. It's probably
Yes.
like the most awful thing you could ever eat. That is my favorite road trip food candy thing.
I'm a Take 5 guy.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah, aren't they?
I don't. They're not on my tier list. For me, it's like it's just there's only two things. It's basically it's salted pretzel pizza combos
Okay.
and the sour strawberry straws. That's pretty much
You're
it.
looking for a different flavor, I think, from your road trip. I'm looking for the sweet and salty, and you're looking for just
Literally, those are two
hodgepodge.
things that are sweet and salty.
No,
You want it? Yes.
Yes,
David?
no. I want just sweet and salty.
Just as a single combo.
Yeah,
you
you got some weird fucking savory. You got sour for days. Anyway,
So good.
the point is, while Pharaoh and I were looking for your Sour Patch straws, we thought, wow, Will's been taking a minute. I wonder if he's hovering. I wonder if he did like a Mission Impossible shit.
I did not hover. No,
You just sat down?
dude. Okay, hang on. Let's talk about pooping.
Dude, go you.
Yeah, no, let's talk about pooping.
raw dogged?
I just raw dogged it, dude. I just raw dogged the toilet. I didn't give a fuck. So, okay, I mean, if it's really bad, like, no, I'm not going to fucking...
It was pretty bad.
It was not
wasn't
nearly
the
as bad
worst
as you
I've ever
described. Maybe
seen.
you cleaned it up before I sat
I
down.
did not.
No, it was not nearly as bad as you described. It was not good. I mean, it was
gross.
It was
gross.
not great. But it was like a serviceable toilet.
You got lower standards than me.
So I used to be really weird about that, and I think like I'm just so old and my IBS is so terrible that I'm like, well, man, what am I gonna do? Fucking shit my pants? Like,
Yeah,
clearly
you're
not.
old enough. No one will
You're
judge.
old enough to
yeah,
shit your
just
pants.
line in for some depends.
Old enough to
Yeah.
shit your pants sounds like a really good like coming of age teen dating novel.
Kid.
Yeah.
You know, we've got the technology.
It's
If
about
you wanna
like
write
a
the visual
yeah.
novel.
It's about like a girl
Yeah.
who's never been kissed, but the name of the book is Old Enough to Shit Your Pants. I think it would be a great seller. Anyway, at some point I decided I didn't care anymore because I just was like, if I have to poop, I have to poop, and
Wow.
I hate it. Don't get me wrong, I hate it.
Good.
I would much
As long as
rather
there was
sit on a
loathing.
toilet that
Yeah.
wasn't gross.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, certainly my standards have dropped.
Oh yeah.
There would have been
That's
a time in
apparent.
my life that I would have not pooped in the toilet that we are speaking of. Dude, this is the kind of content people have been yearning for.
And we've deprived them.
Months.
We are monsters.
We are so sorry that we have not talked about our bowel movements.
Yeah, that's what you guys came here for, right? So about fighting games, while we were there, Pharaoh, he entered Granblue, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Okay, I think he had a pool at the same time.
He did, but he had a pool at the same time as us, so we didn't watch it.
I know that you had Granblue.
I did.
And while we were there, Will met up with an old friend. They got to talking.
Shout outs to Endgamer3K.
I was doing a metaphor. I was going to talk about how you fucked Granblue Fantasy.
How I fucked? Oh, I fucked.
Yes, that was the old friend that you had made, and you guys reconnected. And you got really close.
I did not
personal.
pick that up at all. Yeah, and then we had passionate
towards it. Yeah.
sex.
You fucked Granblue Fantasy.
Me in the game.
Versus.
We had sex.
The thing was, Will did pretty well in his pool. I don't know the place he got, but I
almost made it out. I was either one game away or 2 games away, and I was also 1 game away in Smash. So I did pretty. I wouldn't isolate it to Granblue. I feel I felt better about Smash
the
Ultimate
story
also.
here is about Granblue. You did fantastic. I got like 219th place in
I got like 97th.
Smash.
I would not call that fantastic.
You did twice as well as me.
Okay. Well, I got like 40th at the last combo.
You're not going to take that?
No,
okay,
I'm not.
Fine.
Because, I should have made, that's a whole nother story, but I should have made it out of pools. Sir Dankus.
If you're listening
very
right
nice
now,
guy. I am still salty that I lost to him, though. Game 1, he literally 3-stocked me in 45 seconds. I have no excuses and no complaints.
Bastard.
I mean, he just fucking dunked on me. Actually might be the hardest I've ever been beaten in Smash Brothers ever across all games. 3-stock in 45 seconds. Just gone. And I was like, all right. So then I made the adjustment. I should have beat his ass the second game. I had him. I will admit that I hesitated on one edge guard, which is not in my style.
That's not you at all?
Is not in my style. I think that would have killed him. More importantly, he hit me with something. I was coming back, and I was like, well, I'm going to take this hit because I don't want him to edge guard me because I don't have a jump. I'm going to take this hit. I'm going to land on this platform. He up smashed me when I was at 90. He was Captain Falcon.
You were Ganon.
I was Ganon, of course. He up smashed me when I was at 90, and it just killed me.
Was he on a platform?
I mean, I was on the lowest platform, but like, come on. I could not believe, I jumped out of my seat. It was ridiculous. And anyway, and then he leans over and he goes, yeah, man, that move's busted. And I was just like, man, I really want to fight you in real life. No, he was a very nice man. He was a very nice man.
But that's not going to stop him from catching hands. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I got an Incineroar win in Smash. That was cool. But
I saw that. That was a good adjustment you made.
It was a good adjustment. Fuck Yoshi versus Ganon.
Isn't it awful?
So bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. Anyway, so I played that game too. I think the reason I'm bringing that up is I generally actually had a pretty good time at this tournament. I did not have a great time at Genesis when we last went. I think a big factor of that was that I fought no DLC characters in Smash at Combo Breaker, and I fought almost exclusively DLC characters.
Yeah. And Bayo, right?
DLC, Bayo, and Donkey Kong was it was terrible. So I had fun in Smash, and then I went to play Granblue, which is what you were trying to bring
Granblue,
up. And I had a lot of fun with Granblue. I haven't played Granblue in a really long time because COVID is terrible, and Granblue's online is so much better than Smash Ultimates, but so much worse than most games.
Which is to say dog shit still.
Yeah, it's still not...
If it's not Skullgirls, you can't play it online.
Granblue... When Granblue works, it's actually pretty good. I think the bigger problem with Granblue is not so much the online could be definitely better, no question. But I think the online is what I would describe as serviceable. It's a little bit better than Street Fighter 4. It's very solid delay-based netcode, which, you can argue with that phrase. That's fine, but let's just accept it. It's fine. The main issue is just nobody fucking plays it because the game has gotten fucked royally by COVID and by all this other shit.
Really would have been that was the game. It was so
Granblue was actually the
low to the ground.
of the
it
FGC.
Was, and we didn't appreciate it.
Granblue would have united all of the anime players, all of the fucking weirdos, all of the Street Fighters. Everybody would have played that game.
And all the newbies. You're forgetting, neglecting the newbies because it's an accessible game.
And it's accessible in a way that isn't infuriating.
Yes.
Spoiler alert for where we're about to go. It is accessible in a way that is not super infuriating. I don't love all of the ways that it does the accessibility, but at worst, the accessibility in Granblue is totally fine, which is saying a lot because a lot of games that try to make themselves more accessible, just fucking shit the bed.
Yep.
And so, anyway, what I thought you were mentioning was, I met Endgamer, who's an old Brawl player who I know who's really good at non-Smash fighting games. Totally dunked on you in brawl, Blake. Fucking get fucked. Never mind that you beat me 10-5 in Granblue, which you haven't played in months.
I played some Street Fighter 4 with him. He's pretty good.
Endgamer is very good at a lot of fighting games. He got 9th in Super Turbo and Third Strike at Combo Breaker.
How do you do in USF4? I feel like he did better than
I think
me.
he got top 8. I think he got like 7th or something.
I got 9th. Just
Alex did get. Alex did well. I did pretty good in. There was a Street Fighter 4 side tournament. I did pretty good considering how awful and rusty I am. The funniest part of that tournament was when I beat somebody and the TO was like, "You won. You did it." And I was like, "Motherfucker, I know it's been a long time, but like it was Jack Command."
Yeah,
it was weird because he remembered who I was.
Yep.
When I introduced myself, but then when I won, he was like, "You are MetalMusicMan. You won versus whoever the fuck. I don't remember the guy's name." And I was like, "Dude, leave me the fuck alone. Fuck you. Like, I used to be good. I could kind of do shit. I could kind of do shit." Anyway, I got like 17th or something. Alex did really well in that game. And then what we're getting to with all of this is that Combo Breaker was a fun tournament. First of all, I enjoyed myself.
Yeah,
I would say if I have to get this out of the way, it was definitively worse than the previous Combo Breakers. For no fault of how it was run or anything they could have done about it.
Still got black.
It was run well. I would say it was run worse overall, to be honest with you.
The numbers were bigger.
The space is different. There's a lot of variables that change.
Yes.
I really don't fault them, but like I do have to admit, like it's almost like the era is over because it was at that old shitty venue and they had so much more sectioned communal stuff, whereas this was way more like Evo or Genesis, where it's just like
there was
one big room,
and one tiny room
here.
for Boomer Games.
Yeah, so it felt like the sequel to Combo Breaker, and Combo Breaker isn't around anymore.
Video.
Yeah.
I have faith that next year is going to be an improvement on this year. And I think the numbers will continue to increase.
And that's not to say that I think it needs like a crazy improvement. It was like
it was a great tournament.
The only reason I have anything negative to say about it is like Combo Breaker was so perfect.
Yes.
So like, okay, cool story for Combo Breaker. I've probably talked about this on this podcast, but like one of the things that's like so cool about that, like the last one I went to with Alex in 2018. Mm-hmm. I literally was just like fucking around. It's like community events on the side. I have a long string on my sock that I'm pulling out and I can't multitask. There it goes. I was just like fucking with shit on the side. There's all these like community side events that are run. There's like a pool. Everything's sectioned off into its own little like magical room. There was this like magical Street Fighter 4 room that we went and we played Street Fighter 4. And this was, I hadn't played Street Fighter 4 in years at that point because
it was
I'd
Marvel
only
room the day before.
Yeah. And I remember that because I remember watching you in there. But I hadn't played it in years. I was like rustier than I am now by like a factor of 10 because this is like I literally had not touched the game because I had gone through all of Street Fighter 5 trying not to touch Street Fighter 4 so that I could get good at Street Fighter 5, then not touching anything
and then
because
you learned your lesson.
I was hurt and pained. So when I played at this tournament, it was like dog shit. I think I went 0-2. It was like I couldn't do fucking anything. I forgot totally how to play. But the blessing is because it's like this cool community room where all these things are happening. There happened to be just randomly, there was like Cross Tekken tournament. And this dude's just like, hey, do you want to commentate Cross Tekken? Just
wasn't
randomly.
it like the Cross Tekken guy?
Well, yeah, it's Psycho Blue who runs all those things. But like, I was like, sure, man, whatever. And like, I'm pretty fucking good at commentary. I'm a very good commentator. The only reason I'm not a famous popular commentator is because I've had pneumonia.
Didn't sell out. The pneumonia got you.
I got pneumonia in 2016 when I was going to commentate Street Fighter 5 at Combo Breaker.
Yeah.
No, it's not about. Yeah, it's all.
You would have sold out.
Oh, I would have.
But you had pneumonia.
Yeah. I would have. I've had so many like stupid. Anyway, point being, I'm pretty good, and then that got like a bajillion views. And besides sucking my own dick on this stream, it has like I think it has like almost like 500,000 views or something on YouTube. That tournament that I commentated for Cross Tekken. My point is that was like the beauty of the old Combo Breaker is like nobody hyped up Cross Tekken. Nobody knew
just there.
Cross Tekken was even happening.
Yeah.
Team Spooky just randomly was like, well, we'll just stream whatever's in here. Team Spooky just slaps it up, and like randomly, everybody's like, oh, you know what? I'm curious if people play Cross Tekken.
Wasn't it just a bunch of godlike players?
LPN, Seth Olal, there were a couple other names. Those were the two big ones. I forget who else was in there now. I can't remember it, but there were a lot of really good players.
Oh yeah.
The quality of the play was really good. They happened to all be there. And it was just crazy. And like, I had people who like I know tangentially who were like, oh, I was curious about Cross Tekken, and I looked it up, and it was just like you commentating. That was so random. So again, the point of this is not to suck my dick off, although I know I am doing that. The point is that is the kind of magic that I feel like Combo Breaker produced before, where it would just be kind of like these random. It was like
organic.
The biggest organic, community-driven, grassroots, all those buzzwords event. I don't think it is that anymore. And I don't, like, I'm not mad about it. It's just the venue literally burned down. If you guys didn't know, the old venue literally caught on fire. Yeah, the Pheasant Inn literally caught on fire. It was condemned prior to, so the condemnation was them like being like, well, we can't host it there anymore, so they had to find a new venue.
And then it
in
burned
between
down.
them finding the new one, it just caught on fire randomly and burned down.
As if to say, please don't have video games here.
Yeah, and it no longer exists. So the new one is at a more normal standard venue, and it was a really solid tournament, and it was awesome, but it was not.
It felt a little bit more Hollywood, a little bit more esports. It was not Evo, which is Hollywood esports.
To be honest with you, it felt really fucking similar to Evo to me.
It had,
and
a
I've been
vibe.
to a lot of Evos. If I can continue fucking filleting myself on my own podcast, I've been to like 8 Evos. It felt like, other than the fact that it wasn't in Vegas, it felt borderline identical to Evo. And I like Evo a lot, but
but it's a different vibe.
It's a different, it's a different thing. It felt real similar to Evo.
I mean, they still had we are skipping all over the timeline here.
We are, it's almost like we don't script these things at all, and we just have some loose idea and we just wing it.
But we're still building towards that idea.
No. This is all a carefully crafted piece.
Saturday night. We got knocked out from all of our different various tournaments.
Yep.
And then we were like, fucking, do you guys want to watch Super Gekito Ninja Tyson 4?
That was fun. It was way too late, but I had a lot of fun watching it with you.
That was fucking good.
It is a mod. It's like the Project M of
Naruto,
that
GT4.
weird Naruto game. Yeah.
For the GameCube.
I'll never stop saying Naruto, even though I know it's totally incorrect.
It's okay.
That game was cool. Like, you showed me that game, and I was like irritated because it was so dumb. Like,
I showed you the vanilla version.
We played it, and I was like, fuck this game. It has like some cool shit. It's stupid. Whatever that mod was,
Super
like
GT4.
Those people know what they're doing. Like, it was like everybody had like cool shit. It didn't feel like everyone was bland.
The coolest shit was it was like Game Point, and the Tamari was going for a chip kill setup because her fan does just a bunch of
Tamari was so cool though,
wasn't she?
Yeah, dude.
And then the Kiba deliberately took the first hit of the multi-hit fan.
Oh, was that like
setup.
So he could burst because
so
he
could burst
because the chip would have killed him?
Yeah, that was so fucking cool. I was like, your brains are so big. What are you doing here? But the point that I'm getting at is that's a poverty game. They also had like Toho. They still had Mystery Game Tournament. I'm going to say it's not entirely Hollywood yet, but we'll see where that gets. I enjoyed the tournament.
I feel like it's going to a Hollywood direction, but I also I did enjoy the tournament. It was great. I suppose we didn't eat food. We should get food at some point.
Oh yeah, we should.
After
we should
this
order
podcast.
and eat food.
Yeah, we should do that
in real life.
I'm incapable of staying on track. So the point is that I had a good time. It wasn't the best time ever. I wasn't like fully rejuvenated, but I was feeling.
He was ready to love again.
I was feeling fairly rejuvenated.
You were,
especially with regard to Granblue, because I was like, man, Granblue Offline is so good. I feel like I played well. I lost to someone who I know I could have beaten, which is like the best feeling.
It's my least favorite
I did
feeling.
Like the most cringe shit ever, where that guy who beat me, I like miscounted the rounds, and I went to.
My god! Oh yeah!
I went to fist bump him because I thought he had won,
and he held up a finger and he was like, "It's not over."
And he was like, "It's not over." It was in the middle of the round, so really, like, it wasn't like I did it in the middle. Sorry, it wasn't in the middle of the round. It was between games, like of the round. So then we fought, and I beat him that game. He ended up winning the set, but I feel like I would have been probably irritated too. He seemed a little peeved with me, which I can totally understand. I didn't mean to. It was an honest mistake. But the thing that made me really, it was funny. I felt awful because I've very rarely done that.
Pharaoh and I were just cackling.
At you. I was like, oh God. Like, cause I was just so like, which is, I
got.
I think it speaks to a lot of how much fun I was having though, right? Because I was really like so in tune that I forgot the set count or whatever. But I don't feel that bad about it because I'm not going to name names just because I don't, just in case, but like he seemed like a totally nice dude. I don't think he did anything wrong, except he got so much mid-set coaching.
He did. Someone leaned over and told him how to beat you.
Like every 5 seconds. He had like 3 dudes who were just, and he was totally chill with me during the set. So like, but
Nice guy. Mid-set coaching is illegal. You got shouted at it for telling me to hold B.
Yeah,
Mario.
right. Yeah, I said one thing during one of Alex's mystery game tournaments, and the guy was like, "No mid-set coaching. Fuck you. Fucking eat my ass."
But I know how to hold B.
This dude had like a fucking like whole entourage behind him that were like leaning in, whispering sweet nothings, and I was just like, "Come on, dude." Like, I don't even. That's a whole separate conversation about whether you do or don't like mid-set coaching, because to be honest with you,
I think it's cool.
I'm not even made up on it.
banned.
If anything, I think I might be pro mid-set coaching. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, everyone knows. Everyone knows
it is forbidden.
Yeah, that's not a thing. So whatever. I was like, I mean, I didn't feel too bad, because like, even though I did a really lame thing unintentionally, he very intentionally, lamely was mid-set coach the entire fucking time. So I was like, whatever, dude. Like, if you're that mad, like, I would be mad, but like, if you're that mad, like, whatever. Anyway, seemed like a nice man though. Yeah. But it was a little awkward because of that. So Granblue was really fun. I fucked on a lot of people. I got fucked on a little bit. Actually, both my sets. Yeah, I was really close to winning. Now that I think about it, both of my losses.
Yes.
So it was fun. I liked the game, and I played it a whole bunch. I think I played Granblue for several hours. One day.
I fucked off to play Skullgirls for like an hour, and then I came back, and you were like, "Fucking training mode. Gotta learn how to play."
Well, there's also Vyra. Yeah, was a really cool new character I hadn't touched, and like I fucked with a couple of the new characters, but they've all been kind of like, I don't know. Vyra is. I don't know.
So hot.
If you like, yeah, she's so hot. She's so crazy. Which makes her hotter.
Exactly my type.
Yeah. Yep. It is.
Hey, Jen, if you're watching, and I know you're not.
Hi, Jen. You're not listening to this, but you're fucking batshit, and that gives me a boner. Anyway, so Alex just held up that sign, and the fact that he's scared that I said that on this podcast, he's just getting a bigger boner.
Yeah.
Remember when we made a boner joke because your leg was up in the bed while we were rooming together?
I do remember that. We were all laying down to sleep, and I had my knee up, and everyone was like, "Damn, dude, your dick
Alex,
is like 12 feet long or whatever."
My point is, we're 11 years old, and it was a fantastic time.
Yeah, and it was a great time.
It was a great time. We all were 11 years old. It was really fun. So Granblue was fun. I had a lot of fun with it. I was feeling like really good. And the point of this podcast and why we're doing it, that we're getting into, 36 minutes into it, is I felt so revitalized. I felt so good. Vyra was a really cool character. I'm still gonna play Bubs, but like it's just cool to find like a secondary that you really vibe with. And I was like, damn, this character's really cool. Like, I still like Bubs. I don't know if he's good or not. It doesn't matter. But like, I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, I want to put some time in Granblue. Like, Smash has been kind of like pushing me away a little bit lately because DLC characters are fucking dumb. Ganondorf is terrible, even though Incineroar is good. So I'm like, maybe I could like spend some more time with Granblue. And it's like, yeah, like real fighting games. Like, I love Smash. I love fighting games both. But they are kind of a different itch. They're the same itch. They're the same itch. They're literally the same itch. And they're also super duper not the same itch, depending on like kind of how you look at it, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, fuck yeah, I was feeling so good. And then I got home, podcast topic incoming, and they fucking released a patch for this game, like out of fucking nowhere, like the next day or the day after.
Will enjoying himself.
Yeah, they heard somewhere like in the venue that I was having fun. They released a patch for this game. This patch, that was my beer. I'm angry. This fucking patch is the stupidest fucking shit I've ever seen. Ever. I hate it.
It's really fucking funny.
It's so Alex is just tickled pink at how perfect this is.
It is. So they added 2 new mechanics, right?
No, 3.
What's the third one?
Are you counting the dash?
Towards and back.
Okay, I'm counting that as 2, but that's fair. You're counting that as 1.
Yes.
So then 2 new mechanics. Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
So they added in Granblue, a thing that I had noticed while I was watching Will's set. He had 100 meter. Your meter goes from 0 to 100, and Will did this really long confirm. And I was like, is it at this point worth it for him to spend the meter to get just a little bit more damage? And you did it. And I was like, I don't know if I agree. And then like 3 seconds later, I was like, I do agree. Not only did he get an extra bit of damage, you can't spend your meter on anything else. And then the cops in the venue heard me think that and said, all right, we gotta do something. We have to give you new ways to spend meter. So you can spend 50 meter on an empowered forward dash and an empowered backdash. The empowered backdash is sort of reminiscent of your Street Fighter 4.
It's a Street Fighter 4 backdash. The new hip thing to do, which is exactly what Street Fighter 5 did, is literally just put Street Fighter 4 backdashes in the game, but make it cost meter.
Yes, for 50 meter, you can be invincible.
Street Fighter 4 backdashes, and one of the reasons people love and hate that game is that all backdashes are fully invincible frame 1. Now, they're not overpowered because they have end lag that you can punish.
Do you get counter hit for punishing backdash or no?
I'm so rusty I don't recall.
Okay, well, either way, you can punish
I think that you do, but I'm not positive.
If you can, that's even bigger. But the important thing is when you do a backdash in Street Fighter 4, you are invincible, sure, at risk, at cost.
Yeah, so basically like, right. So basically the gist of it in Street Fighter 4 was like, and we won't even talk about like option selects. I mean, it's important, but that'll go forever.
We can gloss over it, yeah.
So the gist of it is that if someone attacks right away when you get up, you will avoid it because you're invincible. Yes. But they can either A, do a shorter attack right away when you get up that recovers quickly enough to do a second attack, or B, do like, an option select whiff buffer thing, which we don't need to go into, but basically like...
There are ways around it.
There are ways that you can like force something to happen such that if you miss right when they backdash, you can hit them when they land and end the backdash. And the whole nuance of Street Fighter 4's gameplay and defense on Wake Up is that sometimes you can cover all these different options completely. Other times you kind of create a 50-50 situation.
Or you have to like spend resources in order to ensure that you have that type of coverage.
Exactly. And so in my opinion, like I am team invincible backdash.
Yes, that is cool and good. It doesn't work in every fighting game, but it does work in every game,
and I don't require it in every game. Yeah. But I generally think more often than not that it's good, and the people who like really hate on it are just fucking dumb. But anyway, we're not trying to dwell on that. The point is, a lot of fighting games now don't do that because dumb plebe casuals don't
complained about it, I guess.
Complain about it, which is part of our thesis statement today.
Yes.
So a lot of games, including Granblue, when you backdash, you might be like throw-in vuln, which you are in Granblue, but you are not strike-in vuln, so like a hit. So when you backdash in Granblue, if I grab you, you'll avoid it. But if I do any attack, the backdash literally does nothing, and you just get hit in the face, and in fact, comboed for trying to have backdashed. So what a lot of games do, because that is stupid, and Granblue has ways around it that are less bad, which is why I like Granblue more than Street Fighter 5. So we'll transition to Street Fighter 5 really quick. What Street Fighter 5 did is exactly what Granblue did, where backdashes were only throw-in vuln, and we're not striking vuln. And then however many years down, Street Fighter 5 was like, well, if you spend meter, you can V-shift. And what's a V-shift? It's literally just a Street Fighter 4 backdash. But it costs meter now because we can't have you have defense. That would be lame. You know what I like watching? I like watching people relentlessly press buttons on block because Street Fighter 5 is a great game that's very interesting.
He's being sarcastic.
Fuck you, Street Fighter 5. Suck my dick.
That part wasn't sarcasm.
You fucking suck. Everything's terrible. It's not interesting watching the same shit happen over and over again because nobody has any fucking options. Anyway,
as someone who likes to press buttons, I find it monotonous when everyone's thing is to press buttons.
There is a totally
I don't feel
different
special anymore.
Button press thing in all the games you like too. Even as much as I dislike a lot of the games that you like, they are so much more thought out in terms of the way you press buttons. I still don't like it overall.
Sure, and you don't have
five,
to.
but like 5 is like just another level of well, yes. So anyway, so Granblue, despite being a really good game that has all these different things, the thing that Granblue does that makes that interaction less silly is Granblue has a dodge mechanic where you can either dodge in place or dodge forward, and that sort of fills that backdash role. Yes. It is more vulnerable than a Street Fighter 4 backdash, but less vulnerable than the backdash that is built into Granblue.
Sure.
In certain ways anyway. And it allows you to kind of do a thing where you can try to avoid something to keep people guessing, but also allows you to be punished accordingly. Right. I actually think it's pretty well done. There's things I would change about it. It's not important. What they did in this patch, thing number 1, is they just added Street Fighter 4 backdash and forward dash, though, but actually even worse than Street Fighter 4 forward dash. So thing 1 is, see, this is why I think they're separate, even though I understand, for me, it's 3 things. The backdash is the first thing, because they added Street Fighter 4 backdash, you spend meter, and you do a Street Fighter 4 backdash. I think that's so stupid, because...
I remember the third thing now. Okay.
Yeah, the third thing. We're building.
Yep.
We're building. Yeah. Street Fighter 4 backdash is fine. If Street Fighter 4 had the same backdash, but it required meter, I would hate that fucking game.
Yeah, because it sets up a weird relationship between meter.
Why would it cost meter to backdash? It's just stupid.
You can always backdash.
I like Street Fighter 5 V reversal. I like that.
That's cool. The alpha counter.
Yeah.
It has a metered resource reversal.
So if you block something in Street Fighter 5, you can decide to spend some of your V meter. No, it doesn't matter. You can spend some of the V meter to like kind of knock someone away. It does basically no damage, but it spins meter and it knocks them away from you and it just invalidates pressure. I actually really like that.
Briefly, you can bait it out. I as a Mika player, would bait it out and then command throw it on reaction. Which is really cool because that's counterplay. That's an interaction that I'm having with the other player.
Yeah, the V reversals are actually good in 5. I actually like them quite a bit for the most part. So the difference is with the backdash, if every time you backdash it just costs meter to do, which is what 5 has now because they call it V shifting, but whatever, it costs meter, but basically you spend meter to do backdash. It's that'd be if you could spend meter on medium punch.
Which is a button that has always been on your stick. You've seen it. You've pressed it 1,000 times.
That's just dumb.
Yeah.
Spending meter on certain mechanics is fine, and it's hard to articulate. I don't know how to articulate exactly what causes it to be fine or not fine, but I know when I fucking see it. When you see backdash cost meter, it's just dude, fuck you.
There is
That's
implicitly
dumb.
a cost to backdashing in Street Fighter 4, which
it doesn't need a meter cost because it has an inherent risk reward built in. Yeah.
Yes.
So Street Fighter 4, let's do Street Fighter 5 again. Street Fighter 5, one of the things they did is all the forward dashes are much faster in 5. So there were a couple characters in Street Fighter 4. Who had really fast forward dash, Abel has one of the fastest forward dashes in the game. Every single, far faster than every other character, other than maybe one or two. Abel's forward dash is nutty good in Street Fighter 4. Every single character in 5, literally every single character has a forward dash comparable to Abel, which is insane compared to Street Fighter 4.
It is so aggressive and so fast paced, which could be fine if that were the game that they were making.
I don't totally hate that.
But it still claims to be a Street Fighter. And it's not this on its own.
That on its own is not, exactly. It just adds to, adds to the heap
it complicates everything else.
It adds to the heap of issues
when
with 5.
When you throw in stand heavy punch, counter hit combos and bullshit like that, where we're getting into just messy, gross territory. It's too aggressive.
Messy,
I'm an aggressive player. I don't like how aggressive Street Fighter 5 is. Everyone
it's not so much that it's aggressive, it's that you can't do anything about it.
Yes.
Even in Skullgirls, there's all this aggression, which again I dislike, but there are all these other options.
Block, you can alpha counter, you have
no fucking defensive options. So Granblue, this fucking patch, Granblue, this perfect, fucking simple but fun game. Granblue is so approachable. It's
fundamental based.
Fundamental, but it has cool shit too. It has anime art, but it plays like Street Fighter 2. Perfect, wonderful game. In addition to adding metered backdashes, which would already be fucking terrible, added metered forward dashes, which make you, what is it? You're temporarily invuln?
Yeah, so
people footsie you out, right? They're hitting you, they're zoning you, and you're metered forward dash, and you're literally invincible, and you punish them for playing footsies.
So I'm
so mad, Alex. I'm sorry. I'm getting hated right now.
What existed previously and allowed you forward momentum with a degree of invulnerability
is forward dodge.
Forward dodge. The forward dodge. I keep calling it roll because it's
basically a roll, but they don't actually roll.
Player at heart. You sort of slide in, right, and that lets you bypass projectiles and any high profile moves. So if someone is throwing a punch,
if somebody does something that hits low, not literally low, but hits the hitbox is low to the ground, it will beat the move. But if it's not low to the ground, then they will dodge through it and get you.
So if
that's already in the game and it works great.
If you react to that high hitting move or the fireball, you can get a lot of horizontal distance.
Yeah, either A, get space, or B, potentially punish them.
In the new metered forward dash that they have, you are strike invulnerable. You just flow in. If they threw a fireball, I guess technically you'll eat it.
Fireballs are not counted. It is very specifically weak to fireballs. They at least were that smart.
But who's throwing a fireball at point blank range?
At yes. Who's doing it at point blank range? No one. B, I feel like the dodge is already so good against fireballs that it doesn't even matter because you're just going to dodge then dash. You're going to dodge then dash. It's horseshit because the game has this amazing, traditional, simple, which is important. Because I think that's the other thing. All these fucking mechanics. People talk about
they add in a layer of complexity.
Fucking talk about accessibility with these games. I'm gonna make games accessible by making all this shit easy. Or Street Fighter 6 is single button specials. Oh my god, we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Shit.
We're working up.
They do it because they're we're gonna make this game accessible.
Children should be able to play.
If you hate fighting games, we want you.
Yes.
If you like fighting games, fuck you.
Q or G or whatever his name is.
This is the whole podcast. What I just said is the whole podcast. Anyway, so yeah, the thing about Granblue is the footsie game is very simple. It's you have 2 or 3 moves tops that you're going to be using. And what it does is like you need to understand spacing and timing. And that's it. You don't need to know all this complex shit. You need to get a sense
to open people
for
up
spacing and
in
timing.
neutral. Yeah.
And
it makes so much sense to see and perceive.
Right. It's good to watch. It's good for the spectator. It's intuitive. It's good for the player.
We'll come back to that in a second.
You don't think Granblue's good for the spectator?
I do.
Oh.
But go ahead. We'll come back to it in a second.
So anyway, not only do they add the backdash, they add the dumb forward dash thing, which is even dumber. It's fucking strike and vol and just fuck your footsies, basically. And like,
it is the fuck your footsies button.
I hate a fuck your footsies button. And then people
because
are like,
you play footsies.
People are like, but it costs meter. And I'm like, fuck you. That's why I hate a fuck your fireball button. Like
I don't mind a fuck your fireball button because that's one part of footsies.
If it's like Blanca EX Blanca ball, that's great. I like
because that has a cost.
Well, not even necessarily that. Like there are other ones that don't have cost, but they're harder, like Oni medium kick slash.
Yeah, but then you have to commit to it.
You have to commit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
They all have, even if they don't have a metered cost, they have a cost of some sort.
Yes.
But like whenever it's just like, here is the literal designated fuck fireballs button. Like not like your special move goes through fireballs, but like there is just a universal
fuck
mechanic.
You fireballs
button.
Yeah.
It's
fuck
so
your fireball.
It's so stupid. You could argue like to a point, Street Fighter 4 has a bit of that with focus attack, but I think focus attack is...
There's a cost to it.
Focus attack is the best mechanic that's ever been put in
any game. You take the gray life, sure. You focus the fireball, but
I've already done this rant. Focus attack, but like the short version is like focus attack is so good because not only is it easy to do, it grows with you as a player. The more you learn about the game, the more you learn about focus attack. It's perfect. It's perfect defensively. It's perfect. Focus attack is the best fucking mechanic ever. I fucking like literally.
I can't use it as a Honda.
You are probably the worst flaw of it.
Yeah,
is that
2 or 3 characters.
A few characters have a terrible focus attack.
Yeah,
and Honda probably deserves it because hands are stupid.
It's fine. Well, the thing is that no one does hand. Anyway.
Yeah, but anyway, for the most part, it is very, very good. There are very few characters who don't like focus attack in Street Fighter 4.
Yes.
So Granblue is kind of that way with the roll system, but then now there's this fucking back roll meter burn, forward roll meter burn, or forward back dash meter burn, forward dash meter burn. And then those two on their own, I would have hated.
You are already mad.
I would have disliked them.
I didn't even have the other argument with you on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I already would have disliked them, but I would have been like, I don't like it, but it's fine. The third mechanic...
Overdrive
is that literally every character in the game now has an install super.
Okay, you could call it that.
Your normal's different.
I would call it,
and it makes
X Factor.
I just like what
you got a damage boost on all your buttons.
There's nothing necessarily. Yeah, every button has more damage. You take less chip.
No. You nullify chip, and your normals do chip.
You literally take no chip. So now you have to think like, am I going to get chipped all overdrive? And then it's like, then you also can spend super anytime during it.
But it counts down very slowly. And if you get hit 3 times, then your whole super bar goes away.
Which is so many rules!
Will is mad. Anytime you describe 3 rules together at once, Will just goes, fucking yo-yos and basketball.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't seen our first episode, go re-listen to it.
Go back 80 episodes and re-listen to us having this exact conversation. But here's the thing. It's like, that mechanic on its own is not the end of the world. I don't love the Issen mechanic in Samurai Showdown.
Yes.
But I do also kind of love it. Like, I think if I made Samurai Showdown, I would make it without Issen, 100%.
Sure, and I'm glad you didn't.
Well, okay. I mean, whatever. That's a whole other topic. But I would make it without Issen. But I don't hate Issen. And it's fine. And the reason that it's fine is because it is a core mechanic that super duper is important to the overall game.
Yes.
And they released the game with it.
Yeah. When you bought the game, you were like, Issen is in this game.
Yeah. If they had released Sam Show, and then a year later, they were like, you know what? Issen. Which, for those of you who don't know, Issen is a mechanic where you go...
I can steal rounds from Will on a dime.
Yeah, you activate a thing. It not only bursts a combo, which prevents someone from doing a combo to you, or their pressure. It bursts block and it bursts hit. So if anyone ever hits you and you block, or if anyone ever hits you and they actually hit you in the face, you hit Issen.
You can say, fuck you,
and it just says, fuck you, and it blows them back to neutral. That on its own would be something
that would make you mad. You wouldn't like that.
But additionally, it activates the Issen bar, which very slowly ticks down. And if at any point during the Eason bar where you already stopped their combo and or block pressure and reset them back to neutral for having gotten in on you in any way. In addition to doing that, if at any time you press the Eason button again...
2 buttons.
Which is literally just 2 buttons together. It's like hard and hard or something. I don't even know what it's... I don't even remember. It doesn't matter.
It's been so long.
2 buttons. You instantly or near instantly dash across the entire screen and hit them with an Unga Bunga Giga attack that does...
They can do like 70% of their health.
Literally 70 to 80% of their health.
It can do less,
hit.
but...
So there are a lot of rounds of Same Show where someone activates Eason mode.
You can call him Alex, just say, for example.
Where Alex activates Eason mode, and then someone else, say me...
Just say Will.
Spot dodges because they're expecting Eason. Because Eason is stupid and Alex is very much that bitch. But then when you spot dodge and they didn't Eason, you just die. Yes. And you literally lose. It doesn't matter that Alex is at 10% health and I have been shitting on him the entire game. In fact,
it's worse if I'm at 10%
In fact, it's worse
health.
because the lower health you are, the more damage it does and the longer the meter lasts. If he activates that, he will kill me from 70% health in one instance. I don't like Eason. But again...
It's shipped with it.
It's part of the game.
You acknowledged when you bought the game.
What I had to learn with. If they had added that shit after a year, I would have drove to SNK headquarters...
and just screamed.
Shit in their fucking mailbox. And that is... It's not as bad as Eason, but it is the same direction as if they had added Eason a year in, is what they've done to Granblue. Yeah. There is this game that's been out for several years. It's fundamental.
A whole pandemic.
Fundamentally sound. It is a very simple game. The whole appeal is that it is a simple game. I think it, again, is the best beginner fighting game I've ever played.
Currently.
You think there's a better beginner fighting game that existed previously?
No, because the patch isn't live yet, right?
Oh, God damn it. Yeah. No, you're... Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Keep going.
And now it has these ridiculous... out of nowhere mechanics for no fucking reason that are just going to hyper overcomplicate everything for all the new players. They're going to make the whole game about doing dumb meter burn
It's
dashes
not about the fundies anymore. There's a button to say fuck fundies. I don't feel like playing
fuck you.
Anymore.
I would like to play Marvel vs. Capcom. Fuck you.
Which is a different game that
it
shipped
is a
and we knew what it was
that you are welcome to like.
Yes.
But it is a different game and now... So anyway, I hate it. And they released that patch literally, I think, 36 hours after I got home.
Excited and full of vim and
excited and ready to grind some Granblue. And then the next day, Street Fighter 6.
Yeah. May I circle back and bring us towards Street Fighter 6? So we were talking earlier about like what makes this game so approachable, what makes Granblue so fun and accessible. Accessible is the key word that we're going to hone in on here. Granblue is accessible just like Street Fighter 2 is accessible, just like Street Fighter 4 is accessible, which is to
less
say...
Less accessible than 2, but yes, an accessible game. Yep.
Which is to say, you can always parse what's going on. You know what is your fault and what isn't your fault, generally speaking. You can see the buttons when I press stand medium punch, when you press crouch medium kick. We can understand and perceive the interaction that's going on. Pardon me, excuse me. And if we're playing Sagat and Ryu... you can parse a fireball war. Any spectator can see the fireballs going. They can see that Sagat's fireballs go faster, but I've got more control over how fast mine are going. And we can negotiate that, and it all makes sense. Those things that you like are not good to watch for the majority of people. I think that those people are wrong. I love watching a fireball war.
I don't agree with that. And okay, now here's the thing.
The thing is, it doesn't matter if you agree.
No. I will give you the objectivity.
Okay.
Yeah. The random stream monsters certainly like that.
That's the person I'm describing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So sure, if that's what you're saying,
that is
that's
specifically what I'm saying.
Okay, so if you're only trying to do mass appeal, then yes. And I think that is so much of the problems with fighting games lately.
Yes.
Is that's all they're trying to do. And like, it's just like, I just made this tweet the other day. It's like, you can sell really nice kitchen knives and you can make a good profit, even though most people are too stupid to do anything other than microwave mac and cheese. And fighting games are a nice kitchen knife who deserve to be sold
and appreciated
by those who appreciate, by chefs.
And if you want to cook something, then hey, there might be these knives that
they might be down there later on down the road.
Yeah.
But people are trying to turn fighting games into mac and cheese. Yes. And it is so dumb. And I hate it so much because I think the reason I hate it the most is like the narrative so quickly becomes, it's just like another ridiculous, super like Twitter fake woke narrative about anything where it's like, oh, it's 2022 and fighting games need to be inclusive. And it's like, okay, if we're talking about like, minorities and women, we're already there with the minorities.
Thank
Not
God.
so much there with the women, but we're working on that. Cool, great. I'm all for it. But then some people talk about inclusivity and they say some shit like, it's like the whole Sekiro argument or the fucking Elden Ring argument that's been on Twitter.
Don't forget Cuphead, but yeah.
Yeah, or Cuphead or whatever, where they're like, this game isn't inclusive.
Because it doesn't cater to people who are bad at it.
If you think that, I think you should punch yourself in the genitals. I think you suck. Like, not that you're bad in terms of the skill of the game, but like you are a terrible person who doesn't deserve to speak. Because there are so many people who enjoy things because they're difficult.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
And I hate it so much because I've always been a gamer. I have not always been a competitive gamer because for a lot of my life, I didn't know competitive gaming existed. I just knew all of my friends didn't like me and wanted to play Smash Brothers a lot less than I did. I wanted to play Mortal Kombat a lot less than I did. And I'd be like, no, guys, don't you want to do this for 4 more hours? And they'd be like, no, we've done it for 25 minutes. That's enough. And I'm like, 25 minutes is so little time. Can't we play more Mortal Kombat and or Smash Brothers? So I didn't know. And so for me, finding that was amazing and beautiful. But also, I super duper resent people who are like, you're a competitive gamer, so you don't understand. Kindly suck my asshole. I play a lot of games casually. Like, I play Elder Scrolls all the time. And like, I probably play it, I guess, more competitively than like the most casual person might, in the sense that like, I do want to know generally what's effective.
What is good.
But I'm not like fucking speed running Elder Scrolls. I'm taking my time. When I play Pillars of Eternity, I'm not building builds just to be effective.
You're not
I really
trying to play
enjoy
optimal.
The story.
Yeah.
And I take my time and I don't rush through dialogue. Like, I play games both ways. And it's just, it's just like, it reminds me so much of like talking to like a religious zealot as a former religious person who is an atheist, where you're just like, I understand both sides of this argument and you don't. And I don't care what you say, because until you literally like have experienced both sides, which you never will, because you're probably a piece of shit, like you just can't say anything to me. Because you live in this tiny sect, and it's so frustrating because they try to paint, just because you play a game competitively, these fucking Twitter mongrels, dude, they try to be like, well, you don't want this to happen because you're a competitive bigot or something, and you hate casual gamers. I don't remotely hate casual gamers. I hate casual gamers who feel entitled to take things from me because they don't want to put work in. It's like fucking like, it's the whole fucking like persecuted fucking like Christian thing. Okay? It's like, I'm a white Republican gun rights activist and I'm persecuted because people aren't letting me persecute gay people. And that's like literally what is happening.
We probably figured it.
Sorry, you're right. Figuratively. You know that what I hate about that is that I have hated that forever, since literally became a lexicon of no longer meaning literally to the point where it's so bad that I now say literally when I mean figuratively, and it just happens. So thank you.
No, I'm
but
here to
also
check you,
literally
go
doesn't mean
okay.
No. Literally
I
doesn't
know.
mean literally anymore. What a sentence that is.
Shame.
What a fucking sentence that is. I hate it. So yes, figuratively, you are the same, because it's like you're basically just pissed that like what you want to enjoy Street Fighter, but you quote unquote can't because it's too hard. Bruh, go fucking play Mario. Go fucking play Rocket League. So there are so many. You don't get to just say that because I'm having a good time with this game and you don't get to. You don't get to come in here and ruin it for me, except that they do.
Except that they do.
They
I was
do.
Gonna say, except
and
that
they
is the
are.
case. Yeah.
And they have been. And I hate them.
So
I hate them so much. I don't come to you and be like, you know what? You're having way too much fun fucking playing Dance Dance Revolution.
There will only be an up button.
I need to make this game only competitive.
Easy inputs, like one up button every 3 minutes.
I can't believe you're playing Crash Bandicoot. I'm going to install, I'm going to come to your house, I'm going to kick the door down, and I'm going to install a hard mode on it that you can't turn off. It's absurd. But you are actively making my game worse by refusing to participate in the way that the game wants you to, and by encouraging this horse shit where they add in... Anyway, Alex has a thing, and I'm on a diatribe. It's awful. I didn't say Nazis. That's pretty good.
Yes, it's good. We're trying to avoid. Is that
I thought I was doing the opposite, but you still look scared.
No, I'm not scared. I'm safe.
The gun rights white Christians, they say everything is Nazi. So I thought I did the opposite.
No, you're good. You're
I
safe.
thought I made okay.
Yeah, no,
anyway,
you're good.
Anyway, thanks, Alex. Thanks for supporting.
I got you.
Me.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. You had mentioned chef's knives and macaroni and cheese a minute ago, and you know what game is a chef's knife that we had started to talk about before the stream, and then you were like, shut up, we're about to podcast, don't waste it, is Sonic Mania.
Yes!
Sonic Mania, for those who don't know.
I'm so glad you brought this back in. I almost forgot.
No, never. Sonic Mania is a game I hold near and dear to my heart. My first memory in life is from when I was 2. It's Sonic 2. It's Chemical Plant Zone. This is a game franchise I hold near and dear to my heart.
Is that the one that's like... Yeah,
that's the one.
Hell yeah. That's not my first memory because I'm much older than you, but it is a very early memory. I bought a Sega Genesis with my first communion money.
Oh shit.
I saved up at my I communed with Jesus party.
Thank God for Jesus.
And I bought a Sega Genesis.
He died for your Genesis. So this is a franchise that I love, and as much as I love it, the people who worked on Sonic Mania loved it more. These people understood the Sonic formula in a way that Sega hasn't since arguably Sonic Generations, but to be honest, since like Sonic 3.
Yeah, I was going to go there.
Yeah.
I think
Sonic Generations is a good game, but it's not as good as the
Sonic
classics.
3 is the last like real Sonic game.
Unless we count Sonic Mania.
Well,
yeah.
We're not.
I see what you're saying.
As part of this. Yeah. So then Sonic Mania is actually...
Yes.
Now.
Yes. So
buy Sonic Mania, it's like $2.
It's so cheap.
Buy Sonic Mania.
That's part of the thing. So like Sonic Mania, what they did was
that's
hired
part of the chef
fans.
Knife thing.
They know the chef knife thing. They hired fans of Sonic who had previously
specifically
worked
that
on
fan guy also redesigned Toby McToberson.
Yeah.
The guy who made Sonic Mania. This is insane. There's multiples?
Yeah, there are multiple people.
Well, he's the main guy.
But yeah.
Sorry.
I see what you're saying.
But yeah, the guy who is like the dude for Sonic Mania just like really likes Sonic and does like fan art or something.
Yes.
And whenever that new shitty Sonic movie came out and everyone was like, Sonic looks awful, they literally hired this dude who made Sonic Mania.
Yes.
He was like, I know a lot about Sonic. You should let me.
I'm the Sonic
I don't
guy.
even understand that because I don't understand how making like a 2D pixel art game and making general art
understands it.
I don't understand how this dude just becomes like a project manager and manages all these 3D artists. But he did it and he saved Sonic. And that is the guy we're talking about. That guy made a video game 20 years later that is a faithful recreation of Sonic 2 and 3 called Sonic Mania.
Which holds firm to the tenets of go fast. It has all of the normal standard pitfalls of Sonic, like the literal pitfalls where you can fall into a pit and die. It knows specifically what it was trying to be.
Yep.
And everyone was like, holy shit, that's the game I wanted to play, and they bought it. If you were a big Sonic fan, you bought it. If you didn't know about it, I'm telling you now, you're going to go buy it. The thing is, Sega made a good return on investment because it's relatively cheap to produce. You just find talented people who love
I don't know what
game.
it costed, but like it was a small team.
And everyone who was really excited about it bought it. And as much of a return on investment is in terms of percentage, that is not the sheer numbers that Sega is looking at. And so Sonic Frontiers, which by all accounts just looks like they slapped a bunch of Unity engine assets into Sonic 06. or Sonic Unleashed or whatever. I don't have a high opinion of this game because it's an open world Sonic game, which is not a genre that Sonic needs to be.
But the game does look not great.
Everything else aside, they are homogenizing this game. It's going to be Assassin's Creed except you're blue and blurry.
I don't even implicitly hate the idea of a Sonic open world. To be honest,
I do, but I recognize I'm going too far.
Yeah, I think they've tried to do it so many times and it's always sucked. So I think you are right to assume it will suck and be irritated by it.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's fun.
But I don't think there is anything wrong with that idea. I think Sonic is actually a fucking fantastic IP, potentially, for a good open world game. But like the issue is like people just get so focused on these new games that do that, and then they suck, and then Sega just thinks like Sonic is bad.
Sonic is the problem.
But it's like you could be making
Sonic Mania 2, which
Sonic,
you chose to cancel.
Yeah, exactly. So like the problem is like I don't understand why you can't do like multiple things with an IP because
well, you can.
Yeah.
Sega used to do that with Sonic.
Let's rein this into fucking Street
Fighter 6. That's where we've been building this whole time.
Because Street Fighter 6 has like a fucking open world mode and all this shit.
It looks like fucking Yakuza, which is not what I want to play.
You could so easily make a game called like
Final Fight 3D
or the Streets of
Fury
of something. Yeah, and then it could be like Ryu could be in that game. And it could be about
the cinematic universe.
It could be about Ryu from Street Fighter. He could be the main fucking character, and you could play Ryu in like a 3D story mode, and he could have some cool throwback animations. But it could be like a totally like over the shoulder third person game. It could be called like or it could even be called like Street Fighter : Ryu's Journey.
Street Fighter : not a fighting game
or whatever. And that would be there would be nothing wrong with that. It would, if anything, it would actually be kind of neat.
I would say it's stupid and buy it.
Yeah, it would be neat. But like they're not doing that. They're putting like a weird overworld game mode into this, and then like the whole game that is a fighting game is a
Street
mode.
Fighter as we understand it.
Street Fighter as we know it is literally relegated to a mode called like Fightcade or
Fight Guy, Fight Person.
Fight Guy. Yeah, it's called Fight Person. It's called a mode.
It's a mode of play.
It's a mode, and so then there's all these other modes.
You have to go from the hub world to the Fight Guy place.
Yeah, it's very awful. It's early, to be fair. I will if it means the game is good, I will gladly eat shit. I will gladly put my foot in my mouth if it means when this game comes out, I'm wrong and all this shit is great. But it looks like they're just putting in so much development time into
things
these,
that aren't the
these
fighting
modes
game?
that just aren't even a fighting game. And I don't. If this was Riot, I wouldn't have any problem because Riot has infinite resources, right?
Sure.
Riot could absolutely make a game that was 3 games in one.
Yes.
Riot could do that. They have the money. Capcom is a shithole. They're tiny. They make some of the most beloved games and IPs of all time. But what a lot of people don't realize, look up like Capcom's like net value compared to like, Riot,
Square.
Nintendo, Blizzard, Square.
Compare it to a smaller thing than those big names.
Even smaller. Capcom is a small company. And so Capcom
they make money
sells
off of
chef's knives. And Capcom has been trying to not sell chef's knives since they sold the best chef knife ever, Street Fighter 4
with the focus.
And instead of selling more versions of Street Fighter 4 because it's a great chef knife,
or just continuing to sell the same,
or just
chef's
supporting
knife.
that chef knife with cool DLC where the chef knife turns purple, they just said fuck off and they tried to make
Kraft mac
and cheese.
Yep.
And so Street Fighter 6,
because everyone can eat Kraft mac and cheese. And
there was as much as I hate. I think what I need to remind people about, as much as I hate about Street Fighter 5, a lot of it I really was positive about, and some of it is the honeymoon phase that Alex is memeing me about. But a lot of it was actually pretty good. Like some of the way the online worked was dumb, but some of it was kind of cool. They had like the whole Capcom like ranking section where like it was like you logged into Street Fighter 5 and you were there and you saw like other. It didn't work because their netcode is shit and they fuck shit up. But conceptually, the idea of 5, not speaking of gameplay because that is why I hate it. The idea of the way that was set up was really good. It was like you log in to Street Fighter 5, you're connected to the online, you can kind of like search for these matches. That sounds great. If that's all this hub thing is, it's still going to be annoying because why would you make it a whole game mode of like running around if it could just be...
Why would you waste that development
Why would
time
you
when
waste that
just
time if it could just be a
make
simple
menu?
UI? Because a lot of these
Yeah.
fighting games do this now, and it super pisses me off. Like, honestly, Granblue, as much as I like it, Granblue does that. You go to do a lobby...
I think it's cute.
I don't.
I know
think
it's stupid, but
so
I think
dumb.
it's cute.
So, like, I can't just, like, when I play with, like, Pharaoh online, I'll be like, hey, Pharaoh, let's play some Granblue. It's not like I go to a thing and...
You don't press select
and there's,
Pharaoh,
like, a button that says, like, invite
fight
friend.
Pharaoh.
And then I find Pharaoh in a list of friends that I hit invite. It doesn't work that way. I, like, type in, like, a room code, which is stupid, but whatever. But then Pharaoh and I join the game and we both become little avatars in a 3D world where we run around and there's a
virtual arcade.
In a virtual arcade, and there's a mini arcade, and we both run up to the arcade with our mini
cabinets.
avatars.
Yeah.
And it's just this pointless barrier that has no reason to exist.
Fucking game.
I already said I'm joining a game with Pharaoh. Why would it not immediately just go to the character select screen? And it's because, like, oh, you could join a game with like 8 people and you could all run
they could
around
crowd
as
around your virtual cabinet.
Little chibi characters of yourself. So Street Fighter 5 is basically doing that, but it looks like even more, or Street Fighter 6 is doing that, but it looks like even more insane where it's like over the camera, personal avatar, and you run around and you find a guy and you're like, hey, you're sitting at the coffee shop. I got to go down the street to the pub and I gotta
order.
It's like a mini Grand Theft Auto type looking thing where you go in and then you talk to a guy and then like you basically decide to like have a Pokemon match where you find a guy and you put your fist to him and you're like, let's have a fight. And then after you run around and find the guy like in a garage on 10th Street, like fucking playing the GTA minigame, then you play the minigame of an actual fighting game.
Yeah.
And I want to die, Alex. I want to die. That is so dumb. Why are they wasting any time when they could make a fighting game?
Before you die, let's also address the elephant in the room. Will, what's the coolest Street Fighter moment in competitive Street Fighter history? There's one.
Me personally, or
what is the
Daigo Perry video?
The Daigo Perry moment. And why is the Daigo Perry moment so cool? Why did that make me want to play fighting games?
Because you ran around in the overworld and found it.
No, we're talking mechanics. Fighting game mechanics.
It's cool because it's digestible and because you are preventing a thing that would have killed you and everyone sees that you're going to die. I hate parrying, and no one can argue that is a fucking fantastic
clip. It's the hypest thing in the way
because Daigo had 0 health and he parried. If he fucked anything up, he would have died. Everybody intuits that. It's really good.
So the thing is that Capcom wants more Evo moment number 37. They want more of that. And what they're taking from that isn't how Daigo threw all of those early fireballs to give Justin enough meter, intentionally baiting him.
Yeah, they're taking a single moment.
They're taking the screaming. Yeah. They're taking, because if you guys haven't looked up,
but if all you do is scream, no one screams.
No, see, there's now a screaming button. There is an induced screaming button.
The button
that makes you forward dash. The button, the V shift button. All of these things are now the one button that causes a hype moment. Your overdrive, your X factor. All of these things are fine or cool or whatever in moderation or just like by themselves. But when you distill the wrong part of Evo moment number 37, what you get is a game like Street Fighter 5.
Or even the right part, but if you distill it to a button.
Yes.
Even if it's literally the same.
Yes.
And that's like Flo's whole thing is like these people don't care anymore. They don't want to watch like anything nuanced. They just want to see dumb upsets.
That's why Sagat and Ryu won't be throwing fireballs in a game anymore. Even if they can throw fireballs in a game, that's why it won't be optimal. That's why you won't see anyone do it. It's the same
they're
reason why they
fucking
have
Karen and hit
V-Shift and Granblue. That's why they've got the easy inputs that they're threatening to have in Street Fighter 6. It's not about the thing
like Granblue does well. The easy inputs are done really well in Granblue.
Yes.
They're not my favorite thing. I wouldn't say I want it forever, but they are done well. It does a great job, and Street Fighter 5 is basically doing the same thing. Now, I could be totally wrong. We'll see, but the way I have read it on the
I hope
site,
I'm wrong.
It seems like there aren't any downsides because Granblue very quickly was like, hey, here are the easy inputs, but when you do them, there are cooldowns or things. Mm-hmm. You know, Street Fighter 5 doesn't have anything like that. It literally just says there are 2 different ways to control it. One is classic, where you actually fucking play the game. And the other is that you have like a special move button. And they have, it strikes me as, I hope I'm wrong, but it strikes me as very odd and concerning that they announced a single button special attack.
Yes.
Without saying that there are any downsides. And before you think MetalMusicMan, you've got your tinfoil hat. That's crazy. I will remind you that this is the same company who released Street Fighter 5 for the DS, or Street Fighter 4
for the DS.
For the DS, and put touch inputs into the game where you could just literally
touch the super
if you picked
button.
Guile,
Yeah.
there was a button on the touchscreen that says Sonic Boom, and if you just touched it, it threw a Sonic Boom. And with that,
Sonic Boom is balanced around not
Sonic
being able
Boom,
to just
for those
press
of you
a
who don't
button.
know, is a back charge move, and you have
must
to hold
back for 1.2
for 1.5
seconds.
or 2 seconds, depending
Yeah.
on the game. You have to hold back and then press forward and punch. So you cannot
Walk
forward
forward
Sonic
and do
Boom.
it.
That would be insane.
That would break
because
the
Sonic
groove.
Boom is so good because you have to hold back. It's far better than any other fireball in the game that you can just throw out because it's an input, because you have to hold back before you Sonic Boom. In this version of Street Fighter 4, which they hosted tournaments for, it was not big for very long, but when the game came out, there were a few official sanctioned tournaments for the DS version. You could literally pick Guile and walk forward while Sonic Booming. It was abominable. You could also, for those of you who don't know, flash kick on reaction, which is a down charge, which is a fantastic reversal and anti-air.
A down charge means you can't walk while you're doing it.
You can't even jump. You can't do anything other than sit in place.
Which
And
means they know if you're
they
sitting
know
on
if you're
flash
holding
kick.
it. But in this version of the game, which Capcom released and totally thought was okay, and wanted to promote as a thing that was real, you could be Guile and you could walk forward, and as soon as someone jumped, just tap the old flash kick button on your screen
An anti-air
and flash
like a
kick
goddamn
them.
wizard.
It did not require you to charge to do the move. So
There's Waggle Zero and TVC. You know how Zero has to charge up
I
his
don't even know what
buster?
you're talking about.
You can waggle the Wii remote and
You wiggle it.
yeah,
Okay.
to get your charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is not how time should work.
No.
Charging Buster is the charge.
Yes.
Is the
Holding it.
thing that
you just
charge
wiggle it.
time
Yeah.
is what the move is balanced around. So
Yes.
if you could just wiggle.
If you just wiggle and it comes out.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. They put these mechanics in quote unquote for casuals, but like the thing I will never understand is like, it's so illogical, the whole thought process, because casuals don't know. Casuals know more now because the internet exists and casuals can get on Twitter and they can bitch. They don't care. That guy who
don't care.
That guy who gets 50,000 likes because he's like, oh, fucking Sekiro was too hard.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is already done playing it and thinking about it, and he's eating a McDonald's cheeseburger, drinking Mountain Dew, and playing Call of Duty inside 5 minutes of having made that tweet. He doesn't care. He doesn't matter. And like all these people putting these things in, they're just putting all these mechanics. It's so stupid because like look at like Super Smash Bros. Melee, which is both one of the best competitive games of all time, one of the happiest accidents of all time.
Because it wasn't made on purpose.
And one of the best-selling just general video games of all time. Melee is so much harder, so much more casual-friendly, so much less casual-friendly than so many games. And nobody cared because they just thought it was cool that that I played Zelda, because Zelda has the Master Sword. And that Zelda guy, he sure is cool in his... No, this is what they think.
Well, yeah. I see what you're saying.
And then they play this game. They don't know. They don't care. So, like, it is just...
Who are we hurting?
We're not hurting anyone. This whole narrative that, like, you're hurting someone by enjoying a game that's hard, by being competitive, you're not hurting anybody. And all the people who say that you are hurting them are either A, totally uninformed casuals who will not know within 5 seconds. They won't care. They'll move on to something else because they're casual and that's what they'll do. They don't matter. Or yes, B, bad actors who are trying to like Twitter like farm for the, again, like fake woke shit where they think that like somehow I'm being an asshole by ruining like, I hate any tweet that's like, you know, let people have fun.
Let people enjoy things.
Fuck you.
Yeah. I'm not having my fun.
Let me not enjoy things.
Yeah.
Maybe like it's like inconceivable to these people that there are humans who enjoy
things that
being
they don't.
tested.
Yes.
Yeah, who enjoy being...
You don't like the skill sets that Marvel or Skullgirls test. And you're not demanding that Skullgirls be exclusively a 1v1
exactly.
game.
I would be a totally insane person. I can tell you what would make me like Skullgirls more. But I would be insane to say that like Skullgirls must accommodate me. Like I can't imagine the level of privilege and insanity that you have to live in to think that like
I deserve to play this game.
Yeah,
I have
deserve to play it, but
$60. It should be made
it's
for
not
me.
fit for me. Any game that exists, I should be able to play. Shut up.
They make other games.
Shut up. Shut up. You suck. Shut up.
They made Dive Kick. If you want a game that's got easy inputs, fucking play Dive Kick. It's good.
So, yeah, man, I hope Street Fighter 6 is good. The gameplay does not look super promising to me. It's pretty minimal, so we'll see.
There's a lot of time for us to be wrong, and I pray that we are.
Yep. Yes, I couldn't have said it better than myself. Perfect. I hope that we are. But so far, again, I thought 5 looked great when it came out. I will remind and there are a lot of things that are wrong with 5, and a lot of them are they're in the minor details. And I've gone on several podcasts, so if you go find something if you don't know.
Google will.
You can go and hear them all, but they are not fundamental. Well, they are fundamental issues, but they're not like, I guess, initial issues. They're not face value issues. Face value, I did not love everything I saw about 5, but I liked a lot of it. I did not like how it looked a little slower and how hit confirms looked more simplified, and that ended up being true in the long run.
Sure.
And that is something that I wouldn't, even if I still liked 5, I wouldn't have preferred.
Sure.
But I could have.
But you can stomach ESIN, so you can stomach crush counters.
Yeah, that's not right. Exactly. There's a lot of 5 that I could have stomached. It's just this like unrelenting avalanche of things that just added up.
We're making a game for someone who isn't you.
But
I know that you've given me money every time I've made a game, but I'm going to make a new game and it's not going to be for you.
What I have seen of 6, it just looks so weirdly realism focused. Like the animations.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's uncanny to me.
Look like, it doesn't even look like Street Fighter. Like the way they do the animations is like so like slow, and then like the hits are so. And again, I know they're putting more hits done. We had this conversation in the car and Combo Breaker. I mean, they put more hits done in games because it helps the netcode be less shit. That is a real thing. If you think I have a tinfoil hat, you're wrong and dumb, and I'm right. Shut up, suck my dick. That is the thing they're doing. It makes sense that the game is slower, but I didn't think it was going to look so much slower even than like 5 already is in terms of the hits done. It's like, so I don't know. The animations, Chun-Li doing like a punch, people are like, oh yeah, footsies. She's doing this weird hunch thing. I feel like the whole cool thing about Street Fighter is they have these like perfected, impossible, perfect kung fu animations where the sprites or the animations have always been kind of set. And she's just like hunching over, doing this alert. It's her stand hard punch. It doesn't look like the iconic Chun-Li punch that I'm used to. Which is not to say that like the fact that it's different makes me hate it.
It could be fine, but it makes you nervous.
It looks like Tekken. Yeah. And I'm not saying that to shit on Tekken.
Tekken's great.
Tekken is a cool game, but Tekken, both looks hyper unrealistic in terms of the way that it juggles.
Thank God.
Which I mean, whatever. I'm not a fan of that. But the realism part of Tekken that I do actually like, even though it isn't at all like Street Fighter, Tekken looks, the way a lot of the attack animations work, the amount of, there's a lot more startup and a lot more recovery in Tekken than there is in Street Fighter. That's just the way Tekken is, because Tekken wants to look, despite the fact that the juggles are ridiculous, Tekken is a relatively realistic looking game comparatively to Street Fighter, because it has 3 dimensions. The animations are all more real. I mean, some of the animations are ridiculous in Tekken, but a lot of them are fairly realistic, comparatively speaking. That's fine. That's just how Tekken is. I really don't like Street Fighter going in that direction.
Being a game that isn't Street Fighter?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can appreciate why that would make you upset.
And so what I've seen of 6 immediately looks
suspect,
problematic and suspect.
Yeah.
I did not remotely feel that way with 5. I mean, I'm always guarded. I'm always sus.
You're more guarded now because you've lived through Street Fighter 5.
But like, yeah, looking at 5, I remember being like, man, like this looks different, but this looks kind of cool. I remember being excited because I saw there were so many target combos, because one of the things I love so much about Oni in Street Fighter 4 is that he has so many target combos, and I like that, and I think that it's cool. I don't want it to be Mortal Kombat, but I think having 1 to 3 target combos per character
is kind of neat.
A lot of characters in Street Fighter have never had any. Some have some. I think that's kind of cool. I don't want to be Mortal Kombat where literally everything is. Sure. I hate that. It's a nice balance. But then, like, I found out the hit confirms weren't quite there. So even though the target combos were, they were only hit confirming with target combos. So it's like, but my point is, like, immediately when I saw that in 5, I was actually excited about it. I was like, oh shit, they made every character like Oni. That's actually cool. I like that. So there was a lot, but like, I don't know. We haven't seen enough for me to be full doom and gloom, but blah.
But boy, howdy if you're not trending towards it.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I feel your hesitation. I understand the concern.
Dude,
looks
real-time
bad.
commentary mode.
That's weird.
So strange. Hats off to Vicious and Aru. They're great commentators.
You know who I'm not going to take my hat off for, though?
Who?
Is that fucking guy who was running the interviews at Combo Breaker.
Fuck that fucking
Fuck
guy.
that. If you're listening to this
if you
podcast,
are a French
what's the
person
matter,
who
man?
conscripted the fucking cafeteria where people were eating.
We went to go eat. We were so fucking hungry. We paid $22 for a sandwich.
Yes.
And we went upstairs to eat. And we were like, quiet. We were eating.
I was even quiet.
Will was quiet. Have you ever heard Will talk?
No.
This was so much restraint. I know. And then this French guy comes over and he's like, hey, excuse me. Hey,
pardon. We are doing an interview. I get to be the French guy. We're doing an interview. And then if you could be quiet, the way you eat your sandwich, your lips, they make too much noise when you smack them when you eat your sandwich. Please.
We are filming.
We're so sorry, but this is the only place we can film here in the cafeteria, and it is a very quiet documentary. Please, and then he like did the
prayer hands,
and then he walked away.
Yeah,
and then I looked over and I was like, "What the fuck?"
And
happened?
it wasn't just us. He turned away from us and he saw one of the tournament organizers who handed me my badge.
Yeah.
Who was sitting eating by himself.
Dude.
Not
He wasn't even
talking.
speaking. He went up to that guy and he was like, "Please, if you could fuck off.
Pardon.
You're in the background of our shot. The way you eat your cheeseburger, it is so disgusting.
I can hear the cheese. I can hear the cheese against your mustache.
Your American cheese. It is toxic.
Yellow, and we can hear the yellow.
It is ruining our shot balance." He came over like 3 times to us and did this shit. And then so did another guy. There were like 2 of them. And I was just irate. I was just like, dude, fuck you. Like, we're eating. And then they said some bullshit. They were like, well, we set up here first, and then they made it the cafeteria. Even if that was the case, I'm sure
Which
it isn't.
it wasn't.
Even if that was the case, you have like 2 key lights and a single camera. Pack your shit up and walk to the other end of the hall. You fucking fuck. Fuck you. Anyway, the moral of the story is, when we walked away, we got out and we were real quiet, and I was mad. And they hadn't said anything to us, but they probably would have if we'd stayed for another minute. They would have said something again because they're fucking cunts. Fuck you, whoever you are. Fuck you. When we walked away, I like didn't say anything. I was quiet. I made them think they had gotten rid of me. And then I got like 20 feet down the hallway, which was this big echoing chamber that led to the cafeteria. And I just, as loud as I could, I just coughed as loud as I could. And it echoed like 8 times. I was just like, like I waited to lull them into, I'm sure I messed up a shot. And I am typically not that much of a petty, subby, passive-aggressive bitch. But I said several times, I was like, dude, this is the cafeteria. Leave me alone.
Let me eat my fucking
They kept coming back.
food.
This is literally the area that is designated for all
They
people
told
to
us
eat.
to go upstairs to eat.
All the tournament organizers said go there. They didn't say motherfucking shit about your stupid fucking interview, you little fucking shit. Fuck you. Fuck those people.
Fuck those people. That's the moral of the podcast.
Yeah. So, yeah, fighting games are ruined forever.
Well, we'll
I'm
always
breaking up
have
with
Street
fighting
Fighter
games.
4.
Yeah, go listen to my emo tweet about the Everclear song called The Drama King, where the lyrics are, even though I'm leaving, I'm still in love with you. And then it's a
Fighting
guitar
games.
solo. That's fighting games. I think I'm done. I think I'm leaving you forever.
I don't think
I'll
that's
never
happening.
not love you, fighting games. But I think
You wish you
suck.
knew how to quit
I
fighting
think you
games.
suck right now. And I wish yes. Well, that another great line from that Everclear song is, I wish there was an easier way to be in love. Which is also, I'm like, I want to love you, fighting games, but you make it
so hard.
So hard. You're awful. Stop. Anyway, I think I've been Metal Music Man.
I'm reasonably sure I've been Professor Lex.
We'll see you guys in 3 years.
Wait. I told you I'm coming back. It's a week from now. Microphone, 3 a.m.
Nope.
Ass or head.
We're out.
You
We're
get
out.
your pick.
Goodbye, everybody. It's been fun.
Bye.
Bye.